am talking to Samy Elbanna. Is that correct?
Yes.
From Lost. Where are we? I've forgotten the band, man. What's the band?
Lost Society.
I'm 68 next month. So
Dude, don't worry, you were 50% correct.
give the guy a break. No. How are you? You good?
Dude, I'm good, thank you. Gonna be honest, it's a very busy time now to to a record release. It's a lot of interviews, a lot of rehearsing, and a lot of prepping for upcoming tours and stuff. But I'm doing good.
Good
Otherwise,
work.
it's fucking cold in Finland, but otherwise I'm good.
Well, I was in Finland back in the 80s, and I was up in Heinola. You
No
know,
shit.
yeah. And I left a couple of American girls there. I went there to visit someone that they knew, and we came from Switzerland or something rather. I went up there, and then I woke up one morning and they were giving the shits, and I just took off. So maybe they were killed there and fucking buried. I'm not sure. It wasn't. I hope they're not watching this. They're probably back in America. They might see this and they might, call me. All right, let's
Oh
get going.
no.
Let's get this sorted because I've got a lot of questions to get through if we can. How'd the band come
Yes.
together 15 years ago? Where did it all begin in Finland? Whereabouts in Finland are you?
We are, well, at the moment I'm based in Helsinki, like most of the band, but we started out from a little city called Jyväskylä, which is like dead center of Finland. And honestly, I mean, a very classic story. I was in high school, or actually lower grade high school, with a couple of friends, and I was like, you know what? I love heavy metal music. I love playing guitar, and I want to write music with, with other people, not just by myself at home. And I mean, Finland obviously is a breeding ground for metal bands, as you probably may know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, stuff started just spiraling pretty quickly. We got a rehearsal place from a local youth center. We started, arranging our own shows because obviously we were all underaged at the time. And it was a couple of lineup changes. But going to the summer of 2011, I believe, the guys who are in the band still to this day, except for the exception of the drummer who changed once in 2020. But we got the final lineup. We did a couple of demos, entered a band competition. A video from that band competition ended up on the desk of an A&R at Nuclear Blast, and I mean the rest is
The
history.
rest is
Six
history.
records later, here we are, and
Now,
it's still our profession, and we're fucking lucky to be here.
Johnny's got you. Johnny's got you by the balls, has he? Johnny Howard. Johnny's
Someone's got us by the balls.
Yeah, Johnny's a good man. He's a good man. You began as teenage thrash upstarts and evolved into a far heavier modern metal force. Was that shift a conscious reinvention or simply a reflection of who you were becoming?
Oh, 100% the latter, because for all of us, we never were kids who only listened to thrash metal. That wasn't the thing that actually even sparked us to start playing music. We always, our backgrounds are far more from like, bands like Iron Maiden, Kiss, Zeppelin, all the classics. And obviously, as we progressed as artists and even just like uh, sort of music lovers, so slowly but surely, we got into Slayer, Megadeth, all the classic thrash bands. But I think it's been much wider than that. Like we'll listen to stuff from pop music to rap music to jazz music to reggae and everything in between, because down to the line we just love music, we love melody, we love a good song. And it never was a conscious decision to begin with that we would even start writing only thrash for the first record, but it just sort of happened because it's what felt natural to us. But just in a similar way as that felt natural to us for the first two records, as we progressed as songwriters, we were like, well, hey, maybe we could start including other elements from other styles of music that we also listen to, because it's just as big a part of us as everything else. And I think it was just like a musical maturity. And in a sense, we were just getting more ready as songwriters and as musicians to bring in all those different elements. And I mean, it's just been sort of a snowball effect from there on out, that every record we'll try to challenge ourselves and try to do something something new for ourselves, but something that feels natural for us.
Okay, your newer material, that's a hard word to say, feels darker and more emotionally charged. Has vulnerability become as important to you as aggression?
100%, 100%. Because, you know, I mean, from the 7 minutes that we've talked together, you could probably already gather that I'm not a very aggressive person.
No.
And I feel like if one's art and one's own music isn't a reflection of what you are as a
Yeah.
human being, then it's basically just lying to everyone. So, you know, for me, it's definitely been music has always been an outlet for me to let out all of my own emotions and sort of all my observations that I see, you know, every single day around me. And especially, you know, being in a band where we tour the world, we see a lot of different cultures, we meet a lot of other people and a lot of new people. I feel like that all translates into the music. And, you know, it would be crazy if now that 15 years has passed since the first record, if those sort of views on everything hadn't have
No,
changed for myself. So, you
I
know,
think consciously, uh, you know, we're born and then we're conditioned. So basically, most of us go through parenting and school and teachers and you know our society, etc. And you start doing work, whatever the work is. In your case, it's touring, it's playing, it's you know egoic, it's all sorts of stuff. And you naturally evolve if you're present, you sort of evolve. But sometimes it can take you like you said, you're honest or to be honest, but sometimes you can be honest and be lost, and then you can develop and be honest and be found. And so I think that if you're present, then you'll notice what takes place and you'll keep evolving, which you guys obviously look like you've been doing. So that takes, but that's not normal. You know, you'd think it was normal, but there's some people that are lost for most of their lives and they're searching for something better and they're searching for all this sort of stuff and they just keep searching and they never stop and just consume what there is there. How would you describe your sound? And why do you think fans have resonated so much? Is it performance based, or is it the music, or a mixture of both? What do you think?
It's I'd say it's definitely a mixture of both because I feel like ever since even the earlier records, we sort of like built a reputation around Finland and later around Europe and the rest of the world that we are obviously a very intense live act. So that's always been a big part of it because you know like I can speak for myself always where I can say that I love writing music, I love being in the studio, but for me a live performance is where you know that's the main act for me. That's the main thing because you know for me I was a kid, I got into Iron Maiden when I was 7 years old. That's the basis of everything for me. And you know, watching those, you know, the iconic Rock in Rio performances from Iron Maiden, then later watching, I spent so much time just watching live DVDs from all of my favorite bands. I was like, that sort of interaction with the crowd and you know giving out energy and getting it and receiving it from the crowd, that's what I want to do, that's what I love, and that's what I feed off of. So that's always been a big part of this band that we are, you know, we pride ourselves in being a very good live act. But I feel like also ever since, you know, the sort of larger evolution with this band started where the songwriting got, you know, more intense, it got a bit more intricate. I feel like it's been just as big a part of us that our songs also, you know, the structure, the basis of everything has to be good because, you know, you can have the best and most, you know, intense live acts, but if the songs don't resonate with people and if you're not 100% honest with the music that you write, it's, you know, it's going to be pointless. So for me, it's definitely a mixture of both. And, you know, for anyone who's never heard our band, I always say that, you know, we're a product of our influences and you know our surroundings. And obviously it's metal music, but I rather not go further than that. You know, I've like because we've always lived in this world where everything has to be categorized so fucking, you know, like down to the T. And it's like to me, it's like we play metal music, you know, we have
That's
distorted
it.
guitars,
That's it.
also clean guitars. We have clean vocals and you know, we have growling. It's like just, you know, give it a chance and you'll see. But, you know, it's twin guitar based music, metal music, and you know, it's fucking it's there. Just check it out.
Well, you're carrying the band now as a sole guitarist and frontman. How has that changed your mindset on stage and in the writing room?
We have two guitarists in the
You got two,
band
have
still
you?
to
Yeah,
this
yeah,
day. Yes, yes, sir. And it's always been a big part of the band also because, as I mentioned before with bands like Maiden or Thin Lizzy, Judas Priest, Children of Bodom, it's always been a big part and it's always been a conscious thing that I want to be in a band that has two guitarists because
yeah.
I feel like that sort of interaction and the sort of bouncing off ideas from each other, it gives so much and it brings so much to the music. And obviously, because, I mean, without, sucking ourselves off too much, we are fairly good instrumentalists also. And I feel like it's always a cool thing for the crowd to also, to witness those guitar hero moments when you have those big harmonies or those big melodies. It's
Yep,
it's
yep,
always been it was a
yep.
very big moment for myself as a kid to see those acts. So, getting to do that with our band has always been a very important factor.
All right. You signed young and were touring internationally early on. Did that fast track your growth, or was it a pressure where you had to learn to survive? Did you start off just going crash bang boom, or was it did you
I
have
I
to
feel like
break the
I
break
feel like
the
it's always been it's for us it's always been sort of a mixture between enjoying ourselves but also being very disciplined because ever since I mean our first tour we hopped on when I was 17 years old. I was underage and we were just on the brink of turning to adults, in speech marks heavily. But we've always maintained the discipline that we have to, it's always music first. It's like we've never, even
uh,
back in, I've been sober for 7 years now, but even in the days when I did have a drink, it was
yeah,
something that we still do till this day.
I think that's a Finnish thing, really. I think if you're in the States, you probably might have had a different experience, but the up north, you are more disciplined. There's a more conservative sort of process that everyone's a part of. You've got the saunas and the lakes and even when you're drinking, you've got that the booze trip between Germany and the party boat where everyone hops on the party boat overnight and pays for the cheap grog and then gets the trip back
Well,
over.
that's the thing. But
But
I mean also like on the other hand there is a very sad sort of tradition in this country also with a lot of artists having alcohol being their
yeah,
downfall and
that
that's
is that
that's an
is
unfortunate fact, but I feel like we're maybe the generation where we've witnessed enough of that to know better.
which is
And in a
good.
way we understand also that we're in a world of 7 billion people and we understand how
Good work, man.
we understand the frailty of being a musician. We understand that this could be taken away from us if we fuck up. So we'd rather just, keep
Work
our
hard.
work
Work
ethic.
hard. Okay,
Exactly, exactly. And
let's talk about the music. Is this what you want? It's just been released. What's it all about?
Is This What You Wanted was a song that's based on the fact of being a musician. And I've been doing this for 12 years now, and it being a musician touring the world has given me basically everything I have. It's given me so much, but I would be lying if I said that it hasn't taken a lot of sacrifice. Also, I've been away for a lot of important moments, and there's things that I'll never get back that I missed because of being on tour or being in the studio. But it's for me, it's a necessity. It's not something that I can choose not to do. It's like it's as big a part of me as everything else. And uh, it was important for me to word that into a song. And I feel like this song has a lot, it's very emotionally charged, but still being sort of like a counterweight to a normal sort of ballad in a way that it is very powerful and it has that Lost Society spirit in it, even though it is a very sort of sensitive subject and it is like, as I said, it's very emotionally charged. But yeah, it's about basically what we do and the sacrifice that it does take.
And the album, Hell is a State of Mind's coming out in March. What was its origin and evolution?
Well, with this record, it's really cool because ever since the we put out If the Sky Came Down 4 years ago, it that record for me was some sort of it was sort of something to clean the slate of my life, because some people may know that the whole record was based upon myself being in a very bad place, a very dark place. And I feel like after that record was finished and it essentially saved me and saved my life, I feel like I was drawn back to a very sort of primitive just joy of writing music without any sort of pressure, or without it being anything else than what it actually just is. And writing the record, it was myself and Joonas Parkkonen, our co-writer and producer of the record, who also mixed it. We wrote the whole record from start to finish, just the two of us, for the first time ever. And honestly, it just was, I feel like the songs just kind of started writing themselves after we figured out the basis of what the storyline is going to be. And obviously it's based upon this sort of story of the protagonist waking up in this afterlife from the first track, and making his way through these different observations and these different sort of states of and stages of self-acceptance. And in the end, I feel like it's a very sort of empowering record. And once you get to the end, to the title track, Hell is a State of Mind, it's been that trip of understanding that sometimes these very dark places that you always thought were a very concrete place, being this hell, is sometimes just, a matter of it's a matter of just, deciding to change your life and change it all around. And, obviously, often it also is a very concrete state. It's something that you can change. But I think what I wanted to come to get across with the record and with the lyric is that, if you find yourself in a place where that you can make conscious decisions to change your life for the better, they're always worth taking, and it's always worth making that extra trip down to the afterlife for it.
I'm going to do a conscious podcast soon, and I'm going to talk to people a bit more about their deep side rather than their music side. So I'll have to get you back, man, because I love
That would
hearing
be
about
brilliant, man.
I love hearing about people, and for me, I've spent a lot of time learning how to detach and how to get through that period, to understand that there's a moment in your collaboration with it, everything else is a thought. And so if you can understand that all thoughts are illusory, that's why you like performing, because that's the place where you're connected fully to the moment. And so basically everything else is like you've got to navigate. So you've really got to manage. You say you're disciplined. That's the same sort of thing. You just practice the discipline in a different way. So we'll have that discussion
100%.
another time.
Yes, sir.
What are the signature tracks? And by the way, if you ever need to, all you need to do is I'm at Amplify. You can call me anytime, man. I'll fucking Zoom with you, and I'll fucking get you through anything that you need to get through. Believe me.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
That's because that's what I want to be. I want to be a harmony enhancer. What are the signature tracks on the album, and which are your favorites to play?
That's a really difficult question, because I feel like, or from the latter question, I really love this record as a whole. I think basically, like, more than ever before, I feel like this is a very sort of it's basically like a story. It has a conscious storyline, and I feel like it's cool when you listen to it from start to back, but you can also pick apart the songs. But I feel like more than ever before, it is a record that I would listen from start to finish before forming my final opinion.
Let's leave it
but
there.
I would say, perfect. But I can say there's one track that sort of that started it all. So for me, it's a song called Blood Diamond, and it was one of the songs it was one of the first songs we wrote for this record. And as always, we wrote about 40, 50 songs before choosing the ones that we wanted to take to the next step. But Blood Diamond was the one with the melody that transformed into the string section idea, and that sort of worked as a catalyst to bring in the whole orchestral sound for the whole record. So just for that fact, I'm going to pick that song as being a key track for the record.
Okay, what tours and events are coming up? What should we tell people about?
We are hitting the road on March 7th, so a day after the record's release. We're going to be doing a headline European tour. We're going to be doing Germany, Switzerland, the UK, and we're doing a trip through Scandinavia also, which for us is rare for some reason. Even though we're in Finland, we're going to be doing our first headline shows in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark.
Sensational.
And so that's going to be about 2.5 weeks. When we get back to Finland, we're doing a one-off, pretty big show here in Helsinki, Finland. And after that, it's festival season as per usual, which always in Europe is just the best. And, you know, but I mean, besides that, fuck, we don't know. I mean, we're going to be touring as much as possible, and that's, you know, it's always our mantra, just to be on the road as much as possible.
Is it the midnight sun there in Helsinki, or do you have to go up further north?
Oh, that's way up in Lapland. But you know, I mean, even here in Helsinki, in you know, in the best times of June and July, it's fucking, you know, there's maybe like a half hour of darkness, but otherwise just sunshine all the way.
I loved it. I loved everything about it when I was there, and it's like here in Australia or New Zealand, in Canada or whatever. It's a similar sort of vibe. The people are all sort of local, and you know, they don't have their head up their ass. In America, it's like they only think one way. They think about themselves, and that's about it. They don't sort of think anything else. All right. Okay, so we're going to go through. We've got about 5-7 minutes left, so I'm going to go through some short sort of questions that are, you know, the shitty questions that people hate answering. If you could perform with any music artist, alive or dead, who would you choose? Why?
It would be Iron Maiden from Alive, and from deceased, it would be Chester Bennington in one way or another.
Chester's unbelievable. Iron Maiden, I think I interviewed Chris Cafaro, a photographer, and he spent a year with them back in the day when he was getting 20 grand to shoot anything. He did George Michael's Faith album cover, and
wow,
and he lived with them for a year. I'm sure it was Iron Maiden. He lived with them for a year, and you know, you can just imagine what that would be. That's back in the 80s.
That's
and 90s.
amazing.
That would have been unbelievable, man. So maybe we'll get him someday, and we'll get him to have a conversation to tell you a few stories.
Yes.
If Lost Society in 2026 had to be described in one word, not a genre, what word would you use and why?
Personal, because you know, what is our music if not a very visual and audio representation of who we are?
I like it. I like it. What do you think the best thing is performing to a live audience? You know,
it's just the energy, the interaction with people, and the notion of being able to sing a lyric with, you know, 10, 100, 1,000, or 10,000 people, and everyone singing the same lyric for a different reason. I love that.
Sensational. I think Sinatra did something when he was 70, 75 or 80 or something rather, and he forgot the words, and he stood there on stage, and the crowd started singing, and someone yelled out, "We've got you, Frank." I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So
that's what it's all about.
I agree with you. Okay, let's have some quick fires. What's the craziest thing you've ever done that you can talk about?
Well, now that you added that to the end, I mean, probably the cliche, but the craziest thing I ever did was decide that I'm gonna be a fucking musician.
When did you decide that? How old were you when you decided that?
I was about 7 years old, honestly. It was after I heard the first sort of metal tracks in my life, and I figured out what a guitar is. I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
You need to understand that everything's always perfect. And, you know, basically it's come to you and there's a direction that you're taking, and all you got to do is keep being aware and keep taking it. And it doesn't matter whether it goes left or right or up or down or back or forward. You just keep taking it and you keep having the experience. And the experience has to include everything every day. So once you understand 100%. That, it doesn't really matter. What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Mental health or Iron Maiden.
God bless, man. I'll tell you, we're going to have that discussion. What's the thing you like most about yourself?
My
through.
Tattoos.
Your tattoos, I'll ask you about that later, but coming through, I think getting through, you've got to be proud about that, man, because, you know, depression is the 5, 6, 7 on your way to 8, and most people go back to 4 because it's comfortable, because they don't like the challenge. So getting through is believe me, you only have to get through once. You fall back, but you only ever have to get through once, because once you know how to get through, you don't fall back far enough to not sort of keep going. But you've got to learn it. Okay, here we go. Current or all time favorites? Favorite album?
Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
Boom boom. Favorite artist? Music.
Wow. Shit, that's a difficult one. Favorite artist, let's see.
I thought you'd say Taylor Swift. No,
fuck off. Let me see. I mean, favorite band is always easier, but for favorite artist, because I will make that.
You can say favorite band. You can say favorite band. That's fine.
Well, I'm gonna just for a little change, I'm gonna say Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails, because I do fucking love that too.
Legend he is. What an absolute legend. Favorite movie?
Ace Ventura and Interstellar.
Interstellar's a cool movie. Ace's favorite place to visit?
Tokyo. Fucking 1000%.
Mad, isn't it? It's mad clean and everything's on time. It's mad. Favorite venue to play?
Wow, there's a lot of those. I'm gonna go for my hometown of Jyväskylä. There's a venue called Lutakko, which is one of the most legendary clubs in Finland. So I'm gonna go with that.
I'm gonna have a hard time editing that when I go to edit this, but you know, we'll work it out, I suppose. Favorite food?
Pizza.
I had it for the last 2 nights. Favorite drink?
A soda water. Always.
I had that last night too. It's pretty cool. Soda water's good. So any good clean water is good for you. Favorite person in history, apart from me?
Oh, apart from you, man, that's difficult. It's gonna be it's gonna be two people. It's gonna be my parents.
Your parents. Who did you read? You must have read when you went through your challenging period. You know, you must have listened to something or seen something or read someone. What was it that you sort of got cotton
It was the two things that got me through was Nine Inch Nails and my therapist.
God
believe
bless.
it or not.
Well, 9 Inch Nails, you know, music is the answer, because music is
1000%, dude.
Music
1000%.
If you really get into watching people experience, like you see some of those Kennedy Center honors where stars come up and celebrate, you know, legends. And just the emotion that's in the respect and the emotion that's in a situation, it's like you can cut the air with it. And so if you can just come back to music all the time, you're pretty sweet, seriously. And now your favorite tattoo. I'm going to make this point.
My favorite. Oh shit. Okay, I'll continue the trend. I have a Power Slave Eddie on my hand. It was my first tattoo, and that's going to be my favorite.
What is it? A what? Sorry.
It's the Eddie from Power Slave, the Iron Maiden Eddie.
Oh, there you go, man. That is fun. That is cool. How old are you now? Can I ask you that?
I'm 30 years old.
So you're a boy. You haven't even started. Seriously,
I'm on my way.
But you only have to go through the drama once, and then it's just a matter of reminding you. Actually, you know, in my view, you've got a responsibility, and your responsibility is you're a lead man. You're a lead man in a band, so you can influence people. So they'll follow your example, and that's a celebration. It's not a demand. It's a celebration.
Exactly.
Because ultimately you can do that, and you will do that. And now you're 30. You've got most people don't even find it till they're 50 or 60. So keep celebrating that, mate. Keep making the music. And yeah,
hell yeah, man. Thank you so much for this.
Have a great time, and yeah, we'll talk again, I'm sure.
We'll talk again, absolutely, man. All the best.
All the best to you too.
Cheers.
Thanks for your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.